Well, hello students, here we are finally down to the last week of research methods. And boy, time flies when you're having fun, huh? Just like to let you know that I am very um, happy with all of your performances to date. I think that for those of you that stuck with it, it seems like we lost a few students along the way. That does happen sometimes. Summertime, a lot of commitments to people, a lot of things going on. Um, and, totally online courses, although they're online, they're very demanding in a lot of ways. And remember, you're putting a whole semester into like 7 weeks, so it's a lot. But having said that, here we are at the end of the line, so to speak, with this course. So let's kind of review some of the things that we're going to be going over in this last week. And this is what is significant. We're actually going to be putting the research report together now. Remember, you've done your hypotheses from analyzing your problem statement. You've done a literature review, a substantive literature review. You have also developed a research instrument. You put one together pertinent to your hypotheses and your problem statement. And basically, you have come up with questionnaires that are both relevant to your research matter in a qualitative and quantitative way. So we're measuring opinions a lot. And when you measure opinions, you're talking about the Likert scale. When you talk about the Likert scale, you have to put things really in perspective that these opinions now become data when you put the frequencies together, looking at all the different people that you've asked to do things. So what you're essentially doing this week is you're matching what your research instrument gave you in data to your literature review, then comparing that to your problem statement, your hypotheses, and see if what you thought when you identified your problem statement was really the problem that you came out with solving at the end. Now, if you didn't solve the problem, you've come up with recommendations to do it. A lot of times you can't solve a problem in 7 weeks. However, your recommendations would be wonderful clues for follow-up studies. So what you're essentially going to do this week is you're going to come up with a data-driven report for management. When you look at this week and putting all the pieces together, it's all about data, whether it's literature review, whether it is the results you gathered from your research instrument, okay? You're looking at how important research is and the process that needs to happen as you go through your research. It's not just doing the interviews and collecting the data and researching the literature review. It's also a lot of research has to do with reflection. And reflections are basically your observations of what you came up with. How did you really put it all together? Was it meaningful? Did it give you what you were looking for when you first started doing the research? So how did this course assist you in putting all of that together? So basically, the learning activities for this particular week are going to basically talk about that research report. You're going to focus on chapter 10 this week, which is essentially pages 93 through 101 in your book. And the resources are going to be, and you have a pretty good video up there that is going to be what they call an observational studies video, okay, on gathering data. That seems to help a lot of students. And then you're going to look at what makes a good focus group. It talks about looking at qualitative methods and the research interviewing part one, interviews and the interview society video. So here again, these are all things that assist you, and maybe some of the things you've already done, but they will give you more support to validate what you've looked at. Now, this particular week, your DQs for week number 7, what you're going to share is the importance of conducting research in your organization or whoever it was that you wanted to research. And then quiz 7, that's a no-brainer. You've been doing this right along. And when you get to your learning activities, AS1 is going to be writing a one-page paper outlining the 3 most important takeaways you got from this course. And yeah, relevance, right? How do you relate this to your personal and professional life? AS number 2 is looking at the feedback that you received in week 6, AS number 2, and what type of necessary changes you made toward your final report. So what are some of the comments that I made when you submitted your research, okay? And how did you implement the changes into your final draft? The next thing is the discussion board. Here again, there might be a little bit of redundancy here, but it's a good review period. It's more of a reflection on why good business research is necessary for decision making. And how does that help toward the future? And then finally, in quiz number 7, compare and contrast collecting data through your interviews, observations, and your focus groups. And that's pretty much it, okay? So when you put it all together, okay, what you've done in week 6 is you did a substantive report. All of this in week 7 is really looking at a reflection of how it all came together. That's what's really important about all of this. So that's about it. Thank you so much for a great course. And try to get this all finished no later than a week from this coming Tuesday. I'm launching it to you as late as I can. As early as I can. But the registrar wants the grades in as soon as we can, right after the course ends. So, you know what you need to do, and you know how to reach out to me. Thank you all for a great course. And stay in touch. Professor Lachifa.